All right, Nick, let's talk about the Chicago Bears. We've been talking about the Bears coaching search because that's the biggest thing in Bears news right now. Who are they interviewing? Seems like everybody, but I think one guy they tried to interview and didn't interview is the key here. I think it really speaks volumes. The Bears had some ulterior motives here that were very smart in their reasoning to send a message to the rest of the league. But before we get into that, I'm Andrew, and this is Saturday Morning Inspection. All right, Nick, as I alluded to, the Bears outside thinking here on one of their attempted head coaching interviews here, talking about requesting if Mike Tomlin was open for trade, kind of going down that avenue. Some fans will be like, well, of course he's not. I don't think that was ever going to happen. But there is an ulterior motive here that I think is really smart by the Bears. Let's get into the article and we can talk more about it on the other side. This, of course, is from Sports Mockery. It says, the Bears reportedly made a run at trading for longtime Pittsburgh Steelers head coach Mike Tomlin. Pittsburgh has no intention of letting Tomlin go, and he doesn't seem interested in leaving. It's a safe assumption that was the answer GM Ryan Poles and team president Kevin Warren expected. However, acquiring Tomlin wasn't the only reason the Bears did that. It was also to send a message. Tomlin recently signed a 3-year contract extension paying him $16 million per year, the third most in the NFL. It feels like Poles and Warren intended to send a message that the supposed reputation the Bears are cheap when paying coaches no longer applies. They're willing to spend for the right guy. I think that is key here. I think this is a very smart move by the Bears. I'm curious what your thoughts are on this one, Nick. But before we get to you, Bears fans, in the comment section below, there's been a lot of candidates come in and out through this coaching search. I think it's over 20 that they've interviewed right now. Is there one that is a favorite to you? Obviously, Ben Johnson's probably at the top of the list. Is he available? Is he going to the Raiders? Do you think the Bears can land him? Let us know who your favorites and maybe who you think realistically the Bears are going to choose. Give us some of your thoughts in the comment section below. But nonetheless, Nick, what are your thoughts on this latest unorthodox move by the Bears?
So I think it's a really smart move. I think this is something you see a lot in big business, right? You're trying to negotiate with a top, whether you're trying to hire someone, whether you're trying to buy something, an asset or something like that, real estate, another company, something like that. And you don't, and the other side of the deal, they're not sure if they like the terms. They're not sure if it's a good fit or anything like that. They're not sure if you even have the money or anything like that. Anytime there's some concerns where you're trying to get someone and convince them to come over to your organization, one of the things you can do is just send a message of strength, send a message of, listen, we are going to do whatever it takes. And what the Bears have done here, obviously, Mike Tomlin is one of the highest paid coaches in the NFL. Reportedly, there's some numbers out there because it's all private information. It's hard to get exact confirmed details, but reportedly, Tomlin's one of the top 3 or 4 paid coaches in the National Football League. By offering to trade for Tomlin, what the Bears have sent to every single coaching candidate, and ideally their favorites, whether it's Ben Johnson or somebody else, it's like, hey man, we're going to pay you a lot of money. And there has been a reputation, I don't know if it's true or not, again, because this is all kind of private information, that the Bears are a little bit on the cheaper side when it comes to paying their coaching guys, right? Some teams are a little bit more frugal, like the Bengals historically pay almost nobody, and some teams are willing to just open up the checkbook. The Bears have been more historically on the Bengals side. It looks like they're trying to send a message, nah, we're going to open up our checkbook. We're trying to get the right coach here, and we will give you the dollars you want, right? We're going to give you a massive deal. We're going to pay you a lot of money, 15 million per year, 18 million per year, whatever it takes to get you into Chicago. And I think that's a powerful message to send, because one of the concerns I have with the Bears coaching search, it almost feels a little bit like spray and pray at times. We're going to interview everybody. And if you're one of the favorites, if you're one of the top 3 or 4 guys, you're like, why are the Bears talking? I want to, like, let's say you're Ben Johnson, right? And you think, I like Caleb Williams, I like the talent, maybe I want to go be the head coach of the Bears. But you see them interview literally everybody under the sun. And you're like, does this organization know what they're doing? Why are they interviewing college coaches and they're talking to me too? I don't understand. Why am I competing with a college Arizona State head coach or something like that? What's going on here? And I think by sending this message, they're saying, listen, we're going to do whatever it takes. Whether we have to interview 50 guys, whether we're going to have to spend $20 million for head coach, we're willing to do it, right? And if you're Ben Johnson, listen, man, blank check, write your name, right? Write the dollar amount, you're going to get it. And that's the message I think the Bears are trying to send. And I think it's a good one. The timing of this really matters too. You notice that they didn't do this potential move immediately after the Steelers were eliminated. The reports came out much later. Why? Because I think they saw the perception in the media that, oh, the Bears are interviewing everybody under the sun. They wanted to kind of correct that and reset the narrative and say, listen, we're not just willy-nilly interviewing everybody. We're just trying to make sure we do our due diligence. But when we find the right guy, we are going to give him an incredible amount of money to be the next head coach for the Bears. I think that's a smart approach here. I'd like them to dial back the interviews a little bit, to be totally honest, and just focus on the top guys. But the fact that they're sending this message, I think, should really help them when it comes to hiring the guy they think is their favorite.
Yeah, Nick, and I think the Ben Johnson example is the key here because I think he's the favorite. He's the crown jewel of this coaching cycle. I think he was probably the crown jewel or one of with Jim Harbaugh last coaching cycle. One of the top guys for the last few years as far as who people want as head coach. And you look at the reports around Johnson, they're saying that he reportedly is asking for a lot of money, $15 million plus per year. And I think that's why this lines up with the Bears strategy so well. You look at some other coaches on the list as far as like what they're getting paid. We look at a first year head coach, former coordinator in Mike McDonald, coach of the Seahawks, saying he reportedly making around $9 million a year. So that's much under, but I think this move here is signaling the Bears, like we said, want to put the money out there. $15 million, we were willing to pay someone $16 million. It doesn't matter. If you're the right coach for us, we will do what we want. And I think this may be a back and forth with the Raiders. Reportedly, Johnson likes what the Raiders are doing, but the Bears, we've got the quarterback. We're going to shell out the dollars. And, we hear all about Davis and co a lot of the time that, the Gruden contract that they put out, it crippled them financially a lot. It's tough for them to put out a lot of dollars like that. I think they're in a situation where they're doing whatever it takes as well. I think this is the Bears matching that approach, saying, hey, we're going to do what it takes financially to get the best coach, but also we got a couple more assets on our side. I think they're trying to tip the ball back in their favor. So whatever is going on here, I think this is a really smart move for the Bears to show, hey, no holds barred. We're going to do what it takes, and it doesn't matter. Dollars and cents, we'll get you up there with some of the best in the league.